Depression! Not something exciting, but I want to talk today about the causes of depression. Not so much the aftermath of it. I'll do that in a separate video, but when I believe when a problem arises, we should look to what's causing the issue instead of looking at how to fix it. It's a lot easier to solve the thing that's causing the issue instead of just fixing the aftermath of all of it. And I have what people don't realize is that 86% of depression is caused by the user themselves. Despite this may have been affected by outside sources, the individual user themselves cause depression upon themselves based on the way they perceive it. Some of the main ways the three main ways I want to talk about today that cause depression, it's overthinking, self-loathing, and apathy. These are three main things I believe that cause depression. I'll explain what I mean by this. I'll start off with overthinking. Johnny goes out with a girl, and the date goes by perfect. Everything goes perfect with the date, there's nothing wrong with it. And then all of a sudden, his mate is upset by something, and she has to leave. And she doesn't tell him what exactly it is. So Johnny goes home, and now he's overthinking, reenacting every single action, every single word he said, everything that happened that night, that whole date. He's gonna overthink everything to see, oh, maybe I did something wrong, or what happened, and maybe he feels he's to blame to it. And the more you overthink these kind of situations like that, you are burdening your mind. It is very stressful and very hard in the mind. It's very emotionally tasking when you have to replay every single action, everything that went on that night, because you're trying to look for the solution. It's not a good thing to do. It's a very bad habit. But anyways, next morning, Johnny's girlfriend texts him and says, hey, my mom's in the hospital. I got a text last night. That's why I was upset. There you go. All that pain and suffering, the hours he may have spent the night before thinking, what did I do wrong, or what happened, or what did I say? For nothing, when nothing was really wrong. And that's how you can lead depression. If you did it over time and time and time again, when you keep overthinking everything like that, and those type of situations, when you keep overthinking it, most of the time, you're wrong. Nothing did happen. It was not your fault. Anything bad happened. You're seriously just hurting yourself doing it. I used to be a victim of that. I used to do it a lot too. So I can't blame others for doing it. But when I became aware of it is when I looked to stop doing that, and I felt a lot better ever since. So that's overthinking. That's a cause of depression. That's one of the main ones that a lot of people this age seem to do. The next one I want to talk about is self-loathing. Woe is me, the world hates me, self-pity, the person who feels victimized by everything. Why? That's just another thing. You're setting yourself up to be depressed, because when you think about everything negatively, despite you maybe trying to defend yourself from bad situations, or you feel as if talking down about everything so you don't look forward to anything as well. I used to do this a lot. I wouldn't look forward to anything. I'd say, oh, I'm going on a date next week, but it's going to go terrible. And the more you do that, the more you look at things in the future and say, it's going to be total shit. You're not going to be able to see when happiness truly comes, because you're too busy trying to point out all the negatives, that when the happiness does come, or the moment of joy does come, that you're not going to be able to see it. You're going to be looking at all the negatives, and you're never going to enjoy life that way. Despite it is a defense mechanism, it's fair enough to say that much, it's a very negative self-defense mechanism. You're ridding yourself of any chance of really becoming happy someday. And with self-pity, you have the power to do anything. Everyone has a potential to be the best they can be. They have infinite potential. If you want to, is the key. If other people say you are stupid, you can't do that, and you listen to them, you're never going to amount to anything in life. If you sit at home all day and you're going to say, oh, next week I'll try and get a job. No! Go out today. Go look for jobs now. Stop waiting around. You don't need anyone. It's a key point. You may feel you need someone to be motivated, but you don't. All you need is yourself. No one's gonna look out for you. If you don't take care of yourself, who is? I tell us a lot of people who don't take good care of themselves. People who may smoke excessively or do drugs excessively or they drink way too much. I tell them, you know, if you don't start taking care of yourself, who is? No one's gonna be attracted to you. You may feel, I don't know if you're depressed or something. What's going on in your head that makes you want to do all these negative things to yourself? But if you don't take care of yourself, who is? No one's attracted to someone who can't take care of themselves, unless you're a caretaker, but that's something different. But don't loathe on yourself. Motivation, a little boost. Some of us just need to be aware that we're just beating ourselves up. We're not going to get anywhere unless we stop. The third thing I'm going to touch up on, this one's a really heavier topic. I kind of touched up on the other two a little bit. I don't want to go too deep in this video. I'm going to talk about this more in another video. But with apathy, the state of nothingness. When you're doing nothing in life, you begin to feel empty on the inside. You feel a void of purpose or meaning. You aren't moving in a direction because you don't feel pulled in a direction. Thus, you psychologically suffer. Depression ensues by default. What apathy is a state of nothingness, as I mentioned. It's doing nothing. It's not feeling driven, no motivation, no drive to do anything. And you kind of sit at home all day, just kind of waiting life out, instead of actually going out there and being vigilant amongst whatever you want to do. If you want to get a job or whatever, you go out there every day and go, not just sit around and go once every 2 weeks. Apathy is doing nothing. It's sitting at home in between college semesters like I am right now. I'm not working right now, I'm in college, so this is why I'm doing these videos, so I don't go into apathy. When humans are we want to belong. We want to be validated, we want to be loved, we want sex and all that stuff. And when we aren't doing anything in life, we're just sitting at home for months on end, doing nothing of our lives, you're not getting anywhere. There's no validation coming in. There's no potential being brought out if you're doing nothing. And since we, as humans, we like to be validated, obviously, we're very social creatures. If we don't do anything of ourselves, we slowly, that's what causes us to go into depression when we do nothing. Nothing's tugging us in any direction, or we're not pulling or anything. So nothing's happening. The state of nothingness is very deadly. I recommend, the easiest way to avoid this is keep active. Do something. I don't care if you're not working, if you're not going to college. You should be at least doing one of those. But if you're not, whatever. If you're working on your mind, or something's going on, you're trying to figure out, seeing a counselor before you go to college, that's fine. Do something. Go for a bike ride every day. Just anything. Exercise. Go talk to friends. Go out. Start going to the gym. Pick up anything. Look into your hobbies. Just do something. Apathy isn't good. Because you're never going to get somewhere if you don't keep pushing yourself in some direction. No one's going to come in and just pull you somewhere. It's not how life is. You have all the potential in the world, mates. These are what I feel are the causes of depression. The three main ones, at least. I'm sure more will come up as I think about it, but you need to... Half of the battle is being aware of what causes depression in order to avoid it. If you feel like you're going to relapse into depression, either talk to me about it, or I'm going to post a new video eventually about how to prevent relapse and how to move on from depression if you're currently depressed or you feel you are. I'm no counselor yet, but I'm getting there.